Morning, doing a little revisit on the 540i. Got quite a bit of time on it now. A whole lot of time cutting pine, and yesterday I did some very large removals with it. Very large removals. Tulip poplars, 120 footers. That's my guesstimate. I have been taking this saw in the 200T up in the air and leaving the 200 at my feet. And I will tell you that I have not used the 200. I keep grabbing this saw. There is a power difference, but there is a convenience factor with this saw that will keep you from using the 200 or the 201. What I've noticed is the battery life is poor. The saw does not last very long. Yesterday it did okay on those big trees because it was just a lot of roping, and in roping, of course, you're doing real big pieces, so you're not doing a whole bunch of cutting. Now, if you're blocking trees out, cut and throw, you'll sap batteries quick. You'll go through one every, I don't know, if you're cutting 8-9 inch pieces of wood, you'll go through a battery every 20 minutes if you're just cut and throw. So it won't last near as long as a tank of fuel in a 200T. So mainly, I usually, when I go up in the air, I always just throw an extra battery at my feet because you're gonna need it. Cutting pine, as you can see, this saw's got pine pitch just gummed up everywhere. It did slow the saw down. I did hit it with some brake cleaner a couple of times, and I had to make sure I kept the pine shavings from being balled up because they would gather at the back of the bar and it wouldn't be able to throw them out. When you get into that, it just doesn't have the power to just keep itself cleaned out. You got to kind of reach in there and dig it out, clean it out. But the good news is that I keep using it and I keep grabbing it. I'm taking it in the air, and that's good for me because I got a lot of money in these saws, and I would hate it if I didn't like it and I didn't use it. But the convenience outweighs the negatives of the saw. So I'm gonna say this is the real deal. I mean, as I just said, repeating myself, yesterday I did 2 very large removals. I'm talking about just hogging the saw, and I never grabbed another saw until it was time to start dropping logs, and it really did a good job, man. It's quiet, it's always there. One thing and there may be a setting you can do, but the saw will turn itself off after it sits for so long. So you got to push this button, hold it down, and light it back up. And I wish they didn't have that. I would rather it just stay on because I just don't need anything else to do. I'd rather it just be live until I decide I want it off. But other than that, I mean, it's getting about a solid B plus, maybe even A minus out of me. And you know, I would give the 200T, when the 200T was new, I would have gave it an A plus. As time's moved on and I've grown to expect more mechanically out of a saw, I'm going to give a 200T an A. If you stay on top of the maintenance of a 200T, they're a solid saw. So anyways, that's it. Short video on that, and I'm going to make one on the 500i shortly and what I think about it.